Woof.
Okay, so here we go. Here is the second DevBlog released on May 14th regarding new ships. I knew I saw something about a Spanish cruiser. Yeah. So new ships enclosed test 12.5. Spanish cruiser Numancia and Italian battleship Ruggiero di Lauria. Now, you might think that I pronounced that wrong, and as I always say, be aware that both of those pronunciations I just used are the southern pronunciations for those languages, for Spanish and Italian, so it is correct in the southern pronunciation. But they've been added to the game for testing. So, Spanish cruiser, this is a tier 8. I only see one turret up front. Are there two in the back? It kind of looks like there's two turrets in the back. Let's find out. This is one of the Washington cruiser designs proposed to the Spanish Navy by Vickers Armstrong. Based on the hull of the Emerald class ships, no way that you're going to put that Emerald hull on a tier 8 ship. No way. It might be based on it, but I don't think there's any way that can possibly be an Emerald hull. It don't even look much like an Emerald. Not that much, so we'll see. But with 7 203mm guns and 1 triple and 2 twins, so you got a triple turret in the front and 2 doubles in the back. It's almost like a German design, kind of like Rune. The gun layout reminds me a little bit of something like, I think it's Rune, that has the 2 turrets on the back. Interesting. In order to keep, so what else they say? In order to keep the power plant compact, a linear arrangement of the boiler rooms and the engine rooms was adopted. The ship was supposed to be faster than the original, and installation of anti-aircraft or an aircraft catapult was also implied. However, preference was given to the version that became the basis for the Canarias class. Numancia is armed with 7 203mm main battery guns in the triple turret located in the bow and 2 aft twin gun turrets. These guns have good turning rate for their caliber, but not the highest damage per salvo and a low firing range. The main feature of the ship is the availability of an alternative firing mode. So the alternative funny button mode, just what we need, more funny buttons. Activating burst fire mode increases the damage of the AP shells, but decreases gun accuracy. Now that's a bit different than what we've been seeing. Most of the time it's just been all goodness with the funny button. But here we're saying, okay, we're going to let you chuck out a bunch more AP shells with higher damage, but we're going to lower your accuracy. Now, it's a cruiser, so I imagine the accuracy, yeah, it might be worse, but it won't be that bad. We'll see. Numancia is also armed with 4 triple-tubed torpedo tubes with fast reload. The torpedoes, however, are slow and deal low damage. Wonder what the range will be. So that's interesting. So these are like the anti-European torps, slow and low. Interesting. I thought slow and low was how you're supposed to cook your barbecue, how you're supposed to cook your shoulder or your barbecue butt, not how your torps are supposed to be. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but a fast reload. Now, I want to see the range on these. Good. We're going to get parameters, so we'll get to see that. Ship can boast good concealment as well as decent speed and maneuverability. Same time, low HP pool, weak AA. The equipment is represented by a choice between hydroacoustic and defensive AA as well as fighter in a separate slot. Okay, let's look and see what the parameters of this thing look like. 34,500 health. Yeah, that's not a tremendous amount. See, 25mm plating. That's not a Don A class. That's at least reasonable armor for the tier on a cruiser. 14.4 kilometer firing range. Ouch. Yeah, that's only slightly better than a couple of other ships. Wow. Okay. 17% fire chance. That's not bad. The shell ballistics are average. Reload time 11 seconds. I mean, that's kind of comparable, and I'm saying kind of, not totally, but kind of comparable with Baltimore. I will say Baltimore has like a 10-second reload. Kind of comparable there. Burst fire. So you got to wait 42 seconds for reload, but burst interval. Burst, does that mean 1 second? 1.0? Shots into series 3. So if you are getting all guns on target at 777, you get 21 shells on target. AP shell damage plus 25%, dispersion plus 25%. Okay. Let me look at something. So the AP will do 4,500 damage. You're saying you're going to give it another 1,100 and something. So you're going to get it up to 5,600 plus, and you're putting out 21 of these. So that's way over 100,000. Let's put it that way. That's way over 100,000. That's like around 110,000 in one burst. That's like 110,000 potential AP damage. Wow, that's a good amount. Okay, it'd be interesting to see if this ship can brawl at all. Let's look at some other items. Airstrike, we're not worried about. All right, torpedo tubes. Here we go. Yeah, 11,967. I mean, yeah, it's weak. It's not European weak, but it's weak. 8-kilometer range, 59 knots. Could be worse. 76-second reload. Okay, 1.2 millimeter torp detectability, which is decent. Secondary armament, we don't care so much. Here we go. AA, we don't care. It's a myth, as we often say. Here we go. Maximum speed, 33.5, so very pedestrian. Turning circles, okay. Rudder shift time's okay. So concealment's 10.4, huh? 10.4? Base conceal? And this is a tier 8. So this gets the captain skill, if I'm understanding that right. So, yeah, this is tier 8. So this is... That means your concealed's going to go down to something like 8.4. Really? Whoa. Now, so imagine this thing pops up about 9 to 10 kilometers from your cruiser, which it catches broadside and bursts off 110 to 120,000 potential AP at your broadside. How do you think your cruiser's going to feel after that? Even a battleship may not like that if you pop up 9 kilometers away. That's going to be interesting. Not to mention torps will be on the way too. Wow. Okay. And what else are we missing? Smoke penalty of 5.9 kilometers. That's not bad for 203s. Interesting. All right, and then you have damage control, hydroacoustic or defensive AA and a fighter. So no heal. Okay. And ship naming reasons, we won't go into this. In the historical tradition of many countries, there's legendary battles like the Battle of Thermopylae, yada yada. So in Spain, one of these stories is the lone defense of the city of Numancia. So you can read through all the details of that. That's where the name comes from. Now, a tier 10 Italian battleship with twin guns on it. How big are these guns? How big are oh crap. In 1921, engineer Ferdinando Cassoni presented the idea of a battlecruiser with 8 457mm guns. Those are 18-inch guns and a speed of 35 to 40 knots. It was the largest designed for Italian Navy. To reduce overall length, it was proposed to place the boilers above the engine in a 2-level power plant. That sounds familiar. Anti-torpedo protection was also unique. Detonations would be directed to an expansion chamber overboard from where the gases would be diverted through special channels. That's interesting. The Ruggiero di Lauria is armed with 8. So there's 8 of these. I thought it might have 6, the way that 8 of these. 457mm guns and 4 turrets. The guns fire SAP as well as AP and have a short firing range. Holy crap. 18-inch SAP shells. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. Wow. So they're describing a fast ship. I mean, this almost looks a little bit like an Italian Georgia in a way. Surely this thing has crappy dispersion and reload. It's bound to. It's Italian. Let's look and see. It's armed with 8 457mm guns and 4 turrets. SAP and AP shells. Wow. Okay. Ship has high speed, good armor, and low detectability range. Among the disadvantages, high citadel, low HP pool, low maneuverability. Equipment is represented by improved repair party, which restores 33% of the damage received in the citadel. Wow. And a choice between fighter and spotting aircraft. Always take the spotter. Always. All right, we got to see the parameters on this bad boy. So 79,200 health. Okay. That's similar to a couple of other special ships at the tier. 39% torpedo protection, which is not horrible. But 8 457s with a 19.2 range. Maximum AP 14.9, 762 meters per second. Maximum SAP damage 16,600. Whoa, I think I did that wrong. Let me try that again. Okay, so this thing's coming at you with 132,800 potential SAP damage on a shot. Hey, what's up, Wutan? Thanks for the raid and welcome to the Raiders. Hey, Captain Sam, we are going over our DevBlogs here, so we'll continue with that. Then we'll get a better welcome to the Raiders in a moment. So bear with me a second. So what else does this beast have in store for us? So we've got a tier 10 Italian battleship with 8 18-inch guns with SAP, which is ridiculous. Reload time of 30 seconds. And this is tier 10. So that means you can get that down to what? To 25.2. Is that correct? It's like 16% off. You can get that down to 25.2. This thing is going to be like a Georgia with SAP. Oh my gosh. Maximum dispersion 210 and Sigma 1.80. Maximum dispersion 210. Let me get my ship filter tool up real quick. I'm sorry. We got to get the Georgia up here and see what she looks like. Georgia. So Georgia has, where is our gun? All right, so Georgia has at maximum range, which is what on this ship? 20 kilometers. So at 20 kilometers, Georgia has a horizontal dispersion of 216, so this is about the same thing. Now, I'd like to see what the vertical dispersion is going to be on this ship, because that's going to have a big impact too. But the sigma is the same, so this is the same sigma, basically same sigma and dispersion pattern as the Georgia. But we don't know what the vertical dispersion is. That's going to be the key. Wow. Oh, good Lord. Airstrike, we don't care. Secondaries are 135 millimeter SAP. You don't have a lot of them, but dear Lordy. So you get that too. Oh my gosh. Okay. AA defense we don't care about. Maximum speed 35 knots. 35 knots. Now I don't think you get a speed boost here, but that's right at 38 knots with a speed flag. Now you don't get the speed boost like the Georgia, so that's just slightly slower than a Georgia, but not much. Holy crap. Now, like they say, not very maneuverable. 1,000-meter turning circle. 17-second rudder shift. I get it. What's our detectability? 15.2? Which is going to put you at about 12.3, which is pretty decent for concealment. Oh, dear Lordy. There is no... I'm praying that there's no way this thing makes it to game without nerfs. If they don't nerf this thing, I don't know how it is not just completely and totally busted. The only thing that will keep it from being busted is the high citadel and the low health. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that can keep this thing from being totally busted. Good Lordy. Maybe the gun arcs will suck and make people give an uncomfortable amount of broadside so they can get deleted. I don't know what else to think about it, but you get a damage control. And remember, this repair party is improved, so it's healing back citadel damage from the bigger than normal citadel, and you get a fighter or spotting aircraft. So, oh yeah, that 19-kilometer range, well, you're going to be able to get it out to like 23. So there you go. Wow. Ship naming reasons. In Europe, 13th century, height of medieval chivalry, many will name the great kings and famous commanders. So apparently this Ruggiero di Lauria was an Italian in the service of the Spanish Kingdom of Aragon. Okay, so you can read the details of that if you so choose. I'm not going to go into much details. I'm not much into the ship naming reasons. I'm more concerned about other stuff. So just to recap, Tier 10 proposed new Italian battleship, Ruggiero di Lauria, 18-inch SAP guns. Need I say more? With a 30-second reload before you take the reload module. Need I say more? SAP secondaries. Need I say more? Wow. Okay. Needing the nerf hammer. That thing is going to, at least it doesn't have, it does not have smoke. Thank the Lord, it does not have smoke. And then the other one is the Tier 8 Spanish cruiser Numancia with a ridiculous concealment and a burst fire mechanism that increases your AP damage, even though it makes the dispersion worse. But still, with a burst, you can chuck out somewhere between 110 and 120,000 AP shells in 3 seconds. And you can get within about 9 kilometers of somebody without being detected before you do it. That's not going to be pleasant for anybody. So, wow. Okay. Well, there you go. That is the second DevBlog from May 14th, yesterday on Sunday, that I didn't get to cover on stream. So, holy crap. Well, that was a big surprise in that. Good Lord. All right. Well, that's all for that, but there is one more DevBlog that was released today on Monday, May the 15th, so we'll have to look at that too. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to see notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dawg says, woof.